without warning, back again with another interview. We got DJ Hollywood and Phantom in the building. How you guys feeling?
Facts. Can't complain, man. Blessed, woke up to see another day.
That's fresh off the all-woman show at the Fuse Box.
Facts. Girls need love too. Yeah, it was super dope, super great turnout. Shout out to everybody that popped out. With everything that's going on, I didn't expect the turnout to be as good. A couple performers actually backed out last minute. Which feel me, I don't blame them. Feel me, I get it. But great turnout. So it went from 11 performers to 8, actually 7, because one person did no call, no show, be like that.
Right.
But 7 performers, and they all killed it, bro. The energy was on 10 the whole entire show. Shout out to my host too, they killed it. So yeah, it was a dope show overall.
Yeah, I really love the rollout you had for the show. The interviews, I thought they were amazing. Who was the host you had for the interviews? I thought she was so entertaining and really got the artist involved.
Yeah, so that's when I was thinking of how I wanted to go about, the promo for the show. In my head, I just know that, especially with the female artists, a lot of people might have heard of them, but never, literally as something so simple as never heard them talk. You know what I mean? Like for example with Vex, a lot of people hear her music, but don't know what she sounds like on a regular casual conversation. You know what I mean? So I kind of want to just give a little bit more insight to people on each of the artists, and literally the interviews worked out perfectly how exactly I wanted to. Vex is talking about her jar of juice. Yeah. Abby with the fatties talking about her fatty. It worked out perfect, bro.
Yeah, for sure. And I definitely love to see that. Just contextualizing these artists and as a whole and letting them really portray themselves on the camera. I love to see that shit.
Right. Yeah, it was dope. But to answer your question too, that was her name was Shandell, so she's a UAlbany student. So we did a collab, not a collab. She booked me basically she did a pop-up event. She has her own brand too. It's called JC or Just Creative or J Creative Just Create. And she basically highlights indie artists and stuff like that. She's a huge fan of Lil Baby Suplex, and she's not even from here,
Really?
So yeah. When I DJ'd the pop-up shop event for her, she gave me a song list, and literally Lil Baby Suplex's song was Alias was on her song list.
Hard.
So that's just super super dope. And I didn't want to, because I kind of wanted to take myself out of the picture for it. So I kind of was all right, let me get a female to, a woman to do the interview, and she completely agreed, and it literally worked out perfect, bro.
So you said she's a UAlb student. You're a UAlb alum, right?
Facts. Yeah, I graduated in 2018 with a degree in communication.
Were you born up here, or where are you from?
No. I'm originally from Brooklyn. A lot of people probably think I'm from out here.
Yeah, honestly, I did when I first got familiar with your work and shit.
Yeah. Like I said, a lot of people probably think I'm from out here so I came out here in 2010 to Hudson Valley. I played football there. Fun fact. I'm an athlete. A lot of people probably don't know that either. But I came out there in 2010, and so at the end of this year, it basically makes a whole decade since I've been out here. Went to Hudson Valley and then graduated from Hudson Valley, applied to UAlbany, got into UAlbany, and then graduated in 2018.
So how'd you so when did you start DJing? Is that in college?
Yeah, so a little bit actually consciously DJing. It was in college, but I've always been the person controlling aux.
Gotcha.
When pre-basketball game, warm-ups or something like that. I'm the person playing music,
making
and
the playlists and shit.
Yeah. So it kind of it always worked out that way. But then going to UAlbany, I learned about WCDB, the radio station, and then found out I could get credits for it. So I was just it's a no-brainer, feel me? So then doing it, I kind of, I was like, oh crap, I could mix live, feel me? Because also with the radio station too, it's basically an anti-top 40 radio station. So we only play alternative music. So it kind of worked out with me being in the local scene and knowing a bunch of local people and local artists that I play their music. So that's literally what I just started doing. And then I was like, oh, I could kind of mix their music, feel me? So I just started, literally I brought my controller and just started playing around. And then I was like, yo, I should just take this serious, feel me? And then started investing in my own equipment and all that. And then that was literally 3 years ago, and the rest is history.
Tough. So how's that How's that? From not being up here, how's that integration into the local scene? Like who'd you connect with first, or how'd you become familiar with all these artists? Because you're pretty ingrained in the scene now, for sure.
Yeah. So like it's funny how it worked out because like I like most of the artists that I even like put on my shows and stuff like that, like I legit have like a personal connection with. Like we can sit and have a casual conversation like this,
Yeah.
be outside of music, So just building that bond and that connection with artists, and then just like watch. Why wouldn't I push their music, especially if it's dope music?
Exactly.
Like Ace Supreme, for example. Like we were cool before the music, and it just kind of just brought us, together more, and we just started networking. I took him out to Massachusetts to perform, all that. So yeah.
I was gonna say too, what made you? Because you say you're originally from Brooklyn, right?
Facts.
What made you want to stay up here after college?
To be honest, it's cheap as hell. It's cheap, especially compared to New York City. Super cheap. But beyond that, it was so much room for opportunity out here, and I also too I was super. That's even how I met Phantom.
Mm-hmm.
But I was working at the Boys and Girls Club, so I was like super like connected with like the kids and like just involved with like the youth and stuff. So I was like like I'm gonna stay out here. I literally had like I've always had like 2 or 3 jobs. So I'm like if I go back to the city, there's no way I'm having 2 or 3 jobs. You get what I mean? So opportunity was definitely like one big reason, and then also like I was getting older too, so it's just the freedom of me just being able to literally do whatever I want at my own leisure, feel me? And then having my own apartment, all that, and not, having to listen to my mom, like, yo, like, turn off the lights, da-da-da-da-da, feel me? So I was just like, yeah, it's honestly a no-brainer, and I was just kind of like hustling and making my own money too, so it just made sense to, just to hold it down and stay in the 518.
For sure. When does the managing of Spanky and Phantom come about, and what do you see in them that draws you to them to want to manage them?
So probably I've been managing Spanky for probably a year, and Phantom around the same time, where like I've been like telling him, like giving him insights on stuff, but we like really was like, all right, like let's actually make this a thing. And then kind of I wouldn't even say like I like force it on him, but it just happened that way, just naturally, where I was just like, yo bro, like I'm managing you, feel me? Like, and he was just like, all right, like it made full-blown sense. So but what I see in them though, just the young drive, the young talent, feel me? With Spanky first, it's a super funny story how I even met him, because we met literally almost by luck. So one of my boys, his name is Vic, shout out to VP, he used to do my camera work. So what happened was we went out, like, for example, like it was like a Saturday or something like that, and he left his phone in my car. So now he was coming to my house with no phone, no nothing, and he's on the bus. And he asked a kid, he's like, yo, what time is it? And the kid's like, I don't know what time he said, but he said something. And he's like, yo, bro, he's like, yo, you sound like NBA Youngboy? And then Spanky was like, yo, actually, that's my favorite artist. And then he was like, oh, really? He's like, oh, yo, do you do music? And then Spanky was like, oh, yeah, I do music. And he was like, oh, word, yo, I'm going to my boy's house. He's a DJ. Like, y'all should connect. And literally, I think, I don't know if it was that day, but within, like, that week, like, a couple days, he brought Spanky over to my crib. And we just chopped it up, and then I was just like, all right, like we gonna push this, feel me? And then probably like within maybe like a month or so, we ended up dropping his like first project, all recorded at my house. My boy DJ Cuts mixed it down and everything, and then literally we just made everything official, feel me?
Yeah, for sure. I think Spanky's definitely an example of an artist that adds to like the versatility of the local scene.
Yeah.
Because he's just another one of those dudes that is just not sounding like anything else out there. I heard a couple of his tracks. One of them, Nothing to Something, the Ace shot. That shit is so hard, bro.
Yeah.
Just had that on repeat.
That's 3 verses on that too.
And he's talking some real shit too.
Yeah. And that's the thing with him too. He grew up fast, feel me? Just even coming from ATL. So he definitely voices a lot of stuff that he like goes through in real life, feel me? Like a lot of people, they say the whole cap in the rap kind of thing, but
Yeah.
he literally like everything he says is like real life, feel me? But with Phantom, he always had the interest with in music, like always. So like I said, I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. That's how we met, and I probably know him for probably like 8 years or so, maybe even more. But he was just basically like, because I was kind of like interested in DJing a little bit, so I don't know if I even brought my DJ controller or what, but I basically like, he was like, yo, like, can you teach me how to like DJ? And I was like, like, I don't even know how to really DJ, but I was like, yo, let me kind of try to help you.
Yeah.
And what I did was I put FL Studio on one of the computers, and literally till this day, that's what he cooks up all his crazy ass beats on, feel me?
Fire.
So it's just so funny how like everything just pans out, feel me?
Yeah, for sure. How long have you been making beats for?
Since I was like 11.
11. That's what's up. You got any producers you look up to?
My main one is like Metro Boomin.
Metro. That's fire.
Metro.
I want to say DJ Khaled.
Cali.
When I would want to get a little bit more creative and technical into my beats and stuff like that. And then like since I like to do other type of genres, I want to say like Calvin Klein. Something. I say
Calvin Klein. Calvin Harris.
Yeah, I didn't
Calvin Harris. That's fire.
Calvin Klein. They're not
it's
paying us for
because I
that
saw my
promo.
shirt on my top bucket. I just thought of it. And Martin Garrix is what got me into hearing like the EDM type of scene of music, because that's what I first listened to when I was at the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, I put him on to Animals by Martin Garrix, and literally he was like obsessed with it, and then from there he just literally got in his producer bag and just never stopped.
That's fire.
Yeah.
So you said you started when you're 11. How old are you now?
16.
So you've been doing it for 5 years. What's the difference between your beats, I would say, then compared to now? What have you learned over your time being a producer?
Well, I want to say that like I feel like actually a lot, because before I didn't have the sounds, I didn't have the equipment. I just recently got equipment. I was making beats at school within 45 minutes periods, and I learned how to mix and all that other stuff, and just like how to like arrange my tracks, and like just how to make sure that the whole track just sounds good and not just like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. There's a little more fluidity to the process. Yeah, that's what's up. Anybody in the local scene you'd want him to connect with, or anybody you want to connect with or and work with?
In the local scene, I'm trying to work with Swab.
That's what's up.
He was in that Times 2 video too. If you catch him, he in there busting willies and all that.
Hard.
Yeah, I also do the bike stuff. And who else is it? Do you know anyone?
Who's somebody I feel like he should work with? I feel like he. So we got something with Selly coming up, but I feel like him and Selly would be like a super dope collab. He said Suave already. Even like, and he's super diverse to the point that he could even like throw something in there for Soli Had.
Yeah,
Feel me?
that was
Word.
the name I was thinking of.
Yeah. He could do something for Soli Had just because like he's super versatile with like his beats. But even like on an R&B level, like Vex would be dope too for him to work with. I'm also trying to kind of get him to work with a couple more upcoming like artists too, to kind of like as he's building his brand to kind of build them up too, and you know shine some light on them. So there's a couple people that I think he would work really well with, but it all depends on, feel me, like who's really trying to work, because you know people just it's all talk, feel me.
Yeah, I was about to say that's definitely been one of our biggest problems. It's like sometimes we'll set something up and then the follow through isn't always there. But that goes to my point. What's your view of the local scene and how it's progressed from when you were in college to now?
So even like when I originally first got out here, I never ever heard of any like local artists when I originally got out here.
Mm.
But the more like I like went out, even like the DJs out here, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even coming at anybody when I say this. I never even like heard DJs play like for example, you hear like the intro played at parties now, feel me? But I've never really heard any, you know, DJs playing like a local artist's song and all that. But
Facts.
it's so funny because like I really was in the gap of where the local scene kind of took off, and it's just super dope, bro. Just because I feel like people just realized that like so much music was just coming out that, and then there's so much talent just around us in general that they were like, yo, like I don't know, I don't know where the flip of the switch happened, but literally people just started supporting local like heavy, and then I guess obviously realizing like people like Soli and stuff like that taking off, people were like, oh, like maybe we should actually support, you know, these people around us. So it's definitely like developed a lot more, and then obviously now, you know, the artists, there's more artists popping out every day, you know.
For sure.
And I feel like the confidence level of artists too are kind of like taking another level. But just as something as simple as DistroKid, feel me? Like, and just having that, you could literally pay $20 and have unlimited drops all you want. You get what I mean? So something so simple
all
as
DSPs.
that. Yeah. Something so simple as that is just what kind of, you know, just, you know, gave a little stimulus to, you know, the local scene hitting a whole nother level.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely been listening to the local scene for a while, and for the creation of this podcast was something we've been plotting for a little bit, and we're just looking for our way to interject in the scene. And one of the ways I see our shit is like most of the dudes that come through here, it's their first interview, so it's kind of laid back, you know. It's a run through for when they may go to a radio station or a bigger interview or something like that.
Right.
Or like even with the stuff you just did with all the ladies, doing that, like putting a personality to like the music, because this industry, the music industry, is such a personality thing. Like you, like someone like say like 6ix9ine, somebody like that, they got famous just off of their personality alone. It didn't even matter about like really their music in general. People just like them as a person. So that's like one of the main reasons we did this. Also, I was curious, say there's someone like Phantom, someone like Spanky, what's your like advice for someone trying to come up in the game? Because I feel like sometimes it's harder for people who are younger. So what's your advice?
I would say, you know, reach out to people. Don't be afraid to, you know, literally even if you get left on scene, as cliche as they always say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You get what I mean? So, and definitely use social media to its full extent. I've literally, so there's like a DJ from like Barbados that I like really like look up to, and he's like a Red Bull 3-style champion and all that. And I've literally got on like Instagram live with him before, like on his birthday, feel me? Like just off of just being aware of social media, like, oh, he's live, oh, go live, oh, request, feel me? And now I'm on his live, you know what I mean? Just something so simple, and now I'm writing comments on his post, he's liking it, replying, you get what I mean? Just something, so I'm posting stuff on his page, he's reposting it, you get what I mean? So just something so simple, and we're in 2020, feel me? So if you're not using social media to its full extent, then you're definitely lacking, feel me? Because that's literally what it's there for, feel me? It's social media.
It's funny what you say. You're talking about networking. Even what you said with Spanky, like just having that one simple conversation.
Bro,
I feel like that's law. Like that's law sometimes. So many people are focused on like the end of like getting an interview or getting on a show. They forget about all the other things that like go with it. Because I know, I'm sure you've had that where people just like put me on your show, like
all the time.
That's not gonna get anyone anywhere. And I feel like that's like the thing with the 518 rap scene now. People are finally starting to figure out, oh, it's not just, because we always talk about the one person's trying to be the one person to get out of here instead of everybody being able to get out of here. Because there is like a glass ceiling doing it yourself, and we're finally able to support each other.
Definitely.
For real. To go on to that, I think your shows are definitely an amazing example of just purely uplifting these artists and having them on your radio station. Like you're an example of one dude that's not afraid to bring on whoever to your radio station. You know what I mean?
Right.
Talk whatever. Everybody has a voice. Voice their shit. Do you have a favorite show you've put together so far?
I mean, like, honestly, by default, I'm probably gonna say the Girls Need Love too, just because. But literally every show, bro, gets it. The anticipation just gets more. It just gets better. I just get more like creative with the marketing and like the promo of it. So like, honestly, all of them. But like, just in general, like from the first one I had in May 2018 to the last one I just had, on March 13th. For me, like, they're just all super, super dope in their own, like, unique way, too.
That's tough. Is there any artist you've been wanting to work with that you haven't gotten on a show with?
I'm gonna say no, just because, like, if it was meant to be, it would have happened already. For me. I've thrown I'm probably like on my like 15th show, and that's probably like there's like 10 artists each show, so that's like over like 100 artists I've worked with. Feel me? But I can't even like put it, in my like obviously. So I've even done like my first show ever, like before I even started doing the showcases. Somebody booked me to DJ at Fusebox, and like Soli was on the bill, but this was like 2017, you get what I mean? And even just working with him and just seeing that, and because like, bro, like literally people were like singing his songs in the crowd, and I'm like, yo, who is this guy? Feel me? But like knowing like word for word, bro, and I'm like, I've never heard this person before, and it's just dope, bro. It's just super dope. But I couldn't even say like there's an artist, just because like it might happen in the future, it might not, and if it doesn't, it just probably wasn't meant to be. You feel me?
Yeah, I feel you for sure. So obviously you got the big merch drops, you got the entire brand itself. It's more than music. I kind of want to learn, to you, what does that mean? It's more than music.
So it's so funny because somebody asked me that. So I gave like a lady a card at the bar, and she was like, what? She was like, what do you mean it's more than music? Like, what's it's? And I was just like, I was stuck for a second, because I was like, dang, nobody ever asked me that before. But to me, like, I just take it as like, you don't go like a day without hearing music, whether you are conscious of it or unconscious of it. Feel me? Like, you're hearing it in commercials. Like, it's an everyday life thing. You get what I mean? It's a lifestyle at a point. So for me, music it's just life changing. You get what I mean? And it can literally save people's life. You get what I mean? So I don't take that super lightly. And also, even with DJing, just having the job of like controlling the music and controlling the vibe and the energy in the air is just like, it's just an amazing opportunity. And just having like, even with the shows, somebody could probably walk into one of my shows and be sad as hell, bro, and then walk out like ecstatic, like, yo, that was super dope. And then now they're like, oh, yo, matter of fact, yo, I'm about to go record a song. Like, that's exactly what it, feel me? Like, it's literally more than music, just because like it's inspirational, feel me? Like, but yeah, like it's just a something that's beyond, feel me? Like, beyond me and beyond us, feel me? Like, it's just something that we can't, like, push away from. It's just super, just dope vibes, dope, like, dope energy, and it's more than music, feel me?
Yeah, I feel that for sure. Every step of the way, music has been ingrained in my life, for sure. And it's made such a big impact in my life, and like you said, it's definitely ingrained in every aspect of our culture.
Right.
Every step of the way.
100%.
So, well, what's the end goal? Where do you want to see yourself in a year or two, or where do you want to bring the brand?
So where do I see the brand in a year or two? So, originally it was just focused on DJing, but the more I got into like the shows and like dealing with like the independent artists and stuff, I do want to start my own, basically not even like a production company, but entertainment company, and possibly like work my way like into like a label, like an independent artist label, and obviously like Phantom would be on there, Spanky would be on there, but basically like putting artists on a platform where basically like what I do with the shows, but on like a a steroid level. For
That's
me.
dope. So kind of like a little booking agency type thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Kind of like what they do.
Yeah, and basically just putting artists, like to the forefront, and I do want to get into like artist development, because I really watch, especially with the shows. Like I've seen a lot of artists have great performances, and then a lot of artists have okay performances for me, and sometimes it's not their fault, just because some artists, like even if something so simple as like running out of breath during like because I do 3 songs. If you're out of breath song 2, like you clearly like maybe like a month before the show should have been like doing some cardio or something just to but artists don't even think about little stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like even with like Spanky's like first performance, shout out to Keisha Renee. She booked him for literally, it was a 13th birthday party, and she booked him to perform, him and Livy Drippy. And I had him in the crib like 3 weeks before, like, yo, bro, practice. Like with the mic in his face, like, bro, practice. Like I'm like, trust me, practice. Because when you get up there and you jumping around, it's a whole
it's different. It's like public speaking up there performing.
Yeah,
it's not like some like easy thing. I know even when I do a presentation that I rehearse like the night before, that should still be scary.
Yeah,
so, like,
bro. Yeah. You could literally be ready for a moment, and then once you're in it, like all hell breaks loose for me. So just and being prepared and all that stuff, like it literally does.
Because I'm sure that annoys you when people don't come to sound check, and it's like.
Yeah, when that does happen, honestly, I leave it all up on the artist. So that's what I do too. Like an hour before doors open, I'm like, yo, be at sound check, just so you can just hear what you sound like. You get what I mean? Like, and just something so simplistic can make such a difference, because now you go on the mic and now you yelling, and people are like, whoa, like my ear, like I'm gonna go to the bar and get a drink, and they don't want to listen to your song anymore. You get what I mean? Just something so simple, and just making every second just count, kind of thing.
Now, Phantom, I want to ask you the same question. Where do you see yourself in a year, 2 years from now? What's the big plans coming up in the future for you?
I feel like I don't really like think about that a lot. I feel like I just really focus on the current, like the present and stuff like that.
Take it day by day.
Yeah, that's exactly like that. And then like I just go with it, just go with the flow, just like try and make every day my best type of day.
You got anything coming up that you like to talk about, or?
Well, the Selly paper, the Spanky The Don song that we're about to release, and yeah.
He's got a couple collabs. We have he's kind of working. We're working into getting him some like placements and all that stuff. Getting him more like into the industry, like heavy, because like all his beats, I can't even lie. And I'm not gassing it just because like I'm his manager or something. But he literally has industry quality beats. So just kind of just getting more ears to his beats, and just increasing like the collabs, and like just increasing his network and his following and all that stuff, and just just taking it to new levels, kind of thing.
That's so.
I had a random DJ question I had written down, just a random question.
Sure.
What's like I was gonna say, what's a song that you like? That like you like to like hate to play or something like that. Like you can't believe like all these people like this song for whatever
Everybody
reason.
requests.
Yeah, that you just or a song that you love that you just love hearing when you DJ.
There's a lot of songs that I love to hear, because I just in general I'm a music.
I just see because I see you DJing all over the place, no matter.
Yeah, so songs that I hate, I don't even I can't even lie. In the 6ix9ine era, it was kind of like one of his songs. I can't even lie.
Got annoying.
Yeah, super like gummo and all that stuff. Like people just want to hear it just because. But I can't even because in general, like I can appreciate every song for what it is. You know what I mean? I don't even know, maybe like Baby Shark or something like that. But like I would still find a way to like make it sound cool. Like I literally would put
that's the crazy shit
Shark
people
with,
request,
like,
huh?
Yeah. I'd put like Baby Shark with like New Freezer or something like that too.
Yeah.
For me, like, and that I will and just make it sound super fire.
Yeah, because one thing I've heard from a few DJs, they'll say like, oh, we won't play Look at Me or Finito because it's like a given the crowd's gonna be lit. So it's like,
So yeah, so I mean the thing is I'll play it, but I'm not gonna play it in the same rotation that I've heard it before. You know what I mean? Like I like if if I hear like somebody DJing, you know, oh they're gonna go from Finito, then they're probably gonna play Big Drip, then they're going into Welcome to the Party, then they're gonna play Dior. Feel me? Like if I can like predict, and that's the thing too. Like I do play a bunch of songs that other people play too, or like play on a regular. But I just try to add my own flavor to it and just not not be a basic DJ.
That's why I wish DJ like you be at a college party I'd be at, because or they'll do something like that, or they'll play like Dreams and Nightmares.
Yeah.
Then they'll play like some like Calvin Harris type shit right after. Like you gotta continue the vibe. I can't be doing that and then
After
just
Dreams
kill
and
it.
Nightmares, you're probably expecting a Swag Surf next. Probably.
is there any DJs in the scene that have showed you love that you've connected with, creative relationship with?
Shout out to my guy DJ Ketchup. He's out in Schenectady. He's super dope. Nothing but love. He's literally, and this is no shade at anyone. He's literally the only DJ that has ever booked me and literally like paid me. Like he literally had me DJ for an hour. I don't even talk numbers. He literally had me DJ for an hour and treated me well for that hour. For his it was actually my first time DJing too. It was a silent party type thing where everybody's got headphones on. It was like 6 DJs on the lineup. Like it was crazy. But yeah, Ketchup's a super dope DJ that shows nothing but love. Early on when I originally started, one of the people who kind of like got me into DJing just because like I appreciated how they like respected the craft was like TGIF. DJ Shows another DJ that just shows nothing but love. My guy Ciroc shows love too.
He's doing big things too.
Yeah.
Out there with Sully and shit.
Yeah, facts. Who's another one? DJ Cuts is another DJ that kind of showed me the way early on. Yeah, but like the DJ community is all love. I don't see any like shade from anyone or anything like that. So
That's tough.
Yeah.
One last question, a general question we usually like to ask everybody. Is there any local brands out here outside of your shit that you're fucking with, trying to cop up some new gear on?
It's so funny because they went in a cut with it, but I wanted some merch from Too Easy for a minute.
Yeah.
For a
That
minute.
shit's tough.
Yeah, but they went in the cut with it for whatever reason. I seen they just dropped they have like some like sportswear like boxers that they like previewed
Yeah,
out.
like the Ethica
yeah,
ones.
yeah, and they kind of teased that. So like it's just super dope just seeing like just local brands just kind of not doing basic stuff and just kind of flipping the switch a little bit and spicing things up.
For sure, fact. Shout out Trey for doing this thing.
Also, I know you said one last question, but
Go ahead.
another
ask
question. I was
what
gonna
you-
Keep 'em
say,
coming.
Yeah,
I was
for
gonna say,
sure.
what's your advice, just in general, for any artist who wants to just make it out here, no matter?
Don't be scared to release your music because that happens way too much where people just
You
hold
gotta-
out on their music.
You got to trial and error. Test the market sample you got.
Right.
People drop one track and they get scared because the next track don't like. They'll get like 500 plays for the first song, and they get like 100, and then they get mad, and then they want to like
Right.
quit.
Right. And definitely don't feel like obligated to like or like just because I've had people literally hop in my inbox like yo why haven't you had me on a show yet? I'm like I just haven't had you on a show yet. Like it's not anything personal for me, but when the time is right for me, like it'll happen. Just because like literally even with the shows, like I construct the shows where, and I don't even tell us to the artists when I put them on the lineup, but everybody on the lineup kind of like coincides with one another. You know what I mean? So yeah, but back to what you said, like, just push your music, use social media to the fullest. You kind of got to show face too. A lot of people try to drop music and then just be in the cut with it. Like you kind of got to show face just because the more people see you, the more you'll come to their mind. You know what I mean? I've had like a point